Welcome to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined, with your host, the one and only Betsy Tinnervin. On this podcast, we bring you people who share their personal journeys in life, business, and of course, real estate. Get motivated, inspired, and priceless information from entrepreneurs, community leaders, and realtors who are thriving. Now let's get raw and real. Here's Betsy.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinnervin, with LPT Realty and the Sunshine State Investments team. Happy to be here. Happy weekend. So excited to be here with you guys today. We love bringing you the raw and real of life, business, and of course, real estate. So today I have some amazing guests in the studio, and we're actually going to talk about two things today. We're going to talk about team, what team means to you, how are you a participant in a team, or what phases of your life, personal, professional, etc., do teams have to do with? And then we're going to talk about leadership. So what it's like to be a leader and what it's like to be a leader maybe in a team, or maybe you're a solo in your business. You're a solo entrepreneur, you're a solo agent, but you still have to lead. Maybe lead the way through a transaction, maybe lead with other experts that you partner with within the field of expertise that you're in. So we're going to talk about teams and leadership today. I'm excited. I have an agent here who also happens to be on my team. She just has like the sweetest spirit. She's a really great person. She's always willing to help others, and she's been hustling super hard since she just entered the business. And it is Melissa Muncy. She is actually in Riverview, Florida. She works the entire Tampa Bay area. So how are you, Miss Melissa?
I'm beautiful. Thank you, Betsy.
And every single day that I see you, you are literally always in positive spirits.
I try.
I love that.
Even with stuff going on, I still try.
I love that. And then I also have this other sweet, amazing lady here. She actually was referred to me by another agent that recruited her to LPT. And she's like, I have this perfect, person for you. And like, next thing you know, I get this friend request, and she makes this post on Facebook. And I look at all these like boss girl photos she's got, like walking with her other like real estate boss babes. And her name is Brittany Box. And she is in Valrico, Florida, also working all of the Tampa Bay area. And she is another new agent with LPT. So how are you doing, Miss Brittany?
I'm good, Betsy. How are you?
I definitely stalked your Facebook.
Oh, thank you.
And went through all of your like awesome little photos and just all the great things. I saw that you were super like proud to like be picked like for the radio today. So I loved all of it.
Thank you.
And I have another guest here. Today is our special guest with our two LPT agents. We have Tascon Services, Jorge Tascon. They do a massive painting company all throughout Tampa Bay and Central Florida. He also is a real estate investor on the side and does some flipping, and they've been in business for 20 years. So if you're an agent looking for a vendor to help service some of your clients, if you're an investor looking for a painting company, if you're a developer looking for a seasoned company in this industry, these are the people to contact. So how are you, Mr. Jorge?
I'm great. Thank you very much for the invitation.
And I heard from my friend Jennifer Spinelli that your nickname is Happy.
Correct.
And why do they call you Happy?
Well, it's like a long story, but it's like try to means like the opposite, kind of that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
my face is not very so happy or something.
Well, I know that she has like praised you over and over again, and I think it's really great that you could be here with us today. So let's dive deep into team and leadership and how that applies in the business world, the real estate world, and then obviously in all of our lives. So Melissa, I'm coming to you first, and I just want to know, like, for if someone asks you, like, what is the definition of a team? What would you say to them?
People that can work together happily, not fighting a lot.
Yeah. I think that that's a great like start as to like the definition of team. Like, what about for you, Miss Brittany? Like when someone says to you, like, what is a team, or what do you think the definition of a team is? Like, what comes to your mind?
Well, I think it's when you have a group of people and you have others you can rely on to help you with your weaknesses and to build you up and make you stronger.
I absolutely love that. I think the biggest thing with a team that we like all have to remember is everyone on the team has like a similar goal, right? So we're all trying to get to from A to B to C to D, and then whatever the final stop is. How we get there, I couldn't agree with you more, Miss Brittany, that we all have different strengths and weaknesses. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we rely on other people in the group to catch us when we fall. And really in real estate, Melissa, how do you apply this team structure to your personal business?
Honestly, it's been easy to be on the team, easier than being a single agent, because if I need help, I have people to fall back on. I have team members that I can, if I'm sick, I can have somebody cover an open house for me, or I can have somebody cover a showing if I'm sick. If I didn't have that, I'd be out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it definitely helps when you have other people like there for you. And with the team sense, obviously on a team, you have a leader, you have different departments, you may have different things. So if you're a business owner out there, think about your team structure. We want to give you some really good gems today in reference to that. So Jorge, do you have quite a few employees in your company?
Yes, sometimes I have a bigger groups, depends of the times on the season of the situation. But yes, sometimes I have a small crew, but try to figure it out how is the depending of the market.
Right. So you are the leader of kind of the company and you're the owner, but then you have to have leaders of these crews, right? So when you send these people out on jobs, do you just nominate one person to kind of be the leader, or how do you distribute the work there?
Yes, depending of the subject that they have to do. Sometimes one guys is enough, but sometimes we need to send 2 crews to the same job to fix or paint it or do the whatever
the
that they
work.
need to do. Correct.
So here's the $1 million question, Jorge. Are you ready for this? All the listeners out there definitely want to know.
Yes.
Is what do you do when the guys fight amongst each other? Like they fight about who's going to be the leader. They fight about who's getting the paint. They just aren't getting along. How do you deal with that?
That is a good question, but I think the answer is they did it by depends of the jobs that they, the leader is, you can see it with the job that they do, the passion that they do. They usually are compromised with the
with the other guys.
Exactly, and teach them the another one, and is something like each person have. And it's not difficult to see it.
For sure. I definitely agree. And Brittany, you are not on a team, right? You're a solo agent, correct?
Yeah, I'm more of a solo, but I definitely do still, if I need help, rely on my sponsor. And I reach out to the group chats and make sure
I love that.
I make sure that if I'm questioning anything, that I am reaching out to people that will help me, because I don't want to go out there and provide false information or do something incorrectly.
I love that. And so with LPT, that's awesome that you brought that up. We love and pride ourselves on our culture that Brittany is talking about, being a solo agent within our brokerage. And yet there's so many other resources within our brokerage if you're a solo agent and you're not on a team, that you get that support. So dive deep into those kind of like group chats that we have, Brittany, and all the different resources that you have as a solo agent. What are those resources?
Well, we have our WhatsApp group chat, and we have a lot of Facebook chats, and we also have our individual sponsors, which we can usually reach out to at any time. Mine is Adriana Crusoe. She's great, and she's always willing to help me. We're kind of at a distance from each other, but she'll meet me anytime I need it.
I love that. I love Adriana, and Adriana definitely is out there doing an amazing job. We'll give a shout out to her. We love LPT Realty. We feel like there's a different culture here as far as being a solo agent or a team lead or any of those different avenues of your real estate career. There's resources for everyone to be able to plug in and check in, and also get their, support that they need on the back end. I feel like every brokerage says, hey, we provide support. And it's never apples to apples. We're never comparing like the same thing. So Melissa, if somebody out there wants to get in contact with you in reference to possibly joining LPT or getting on a team, or wants to buy, sell, or invest, what is a phone number they could contact you at?
It's 727-777-2228.
And Miss Brittany, if there's an agent interested in knowing what it's like to be a solo agent and wants to join LPT or buy, sell, or invest in real estate, what is your phone number?
Mine is 479-453-9150.
And Mr. Jorge Happy Tascon. If there's any business owners that want to connect with you or agents that want to connect with you in reference to your flipping business or your painting business, what is a good cell phone number that they can call?
727-459-0075.
So as a leader in this industry, I do personally run a team, but there were times where I did not have a team and I was a solo agent. And I do feel like in a real estate transaction, even a solo agent has to lead the transaction. We are the catalyst and connector in the entire driving force of all the moving parts. So we work with title and we work with the lender and we work with the inspector and we work with the appraiser. So the real estate agent is kind of like the spoke on the wheel that holds everything together. And so we're going to talk when we return just why as a leader you need other resources and other experts in areas to drive your business, no matter what type of business you have. So we're going to pay some bills. And again, more about teams and leadership. You'll catch us after the break.
The best comp plans ever in stock and revenue share, but if we're not closing real estate transactions, all of that is worthless, because ultimately everything starts with a real estate transaction, which starts with a consumer. And so we wanted to arm our agents with the absolute best technology and best marketing tools to do more real estate. And that's, again, I think a big differentiator. I think very few brokerages really sit down and say, how do we provide tools to make sure that our agents can be more productive, sell more real estate, win more listings, win at more listing appointments, help more buyers find that home. And we're very focused on that. And so while we have the best comp plans and the best ways for agents to generate wealth and earn, we also have the best tools, and more importantly, I would say have the best tools to help you be successful in real estate.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin, the one and only LPT agent and team leader of the Sunshine State Investments team. We are happy to be here with you. This show is powered by LPT. Robert Palmer makes all of this possible. We hope that if you missed us, that you visit us on Facebook at the LPT Radio All-Star Facebook page, where you can then go to our YouTube channel and see all of our podcasts, etc. We're happy to be with you on this weekend. Of course, always providing you the raw and real of life, business, and of course, real estate. I have Melissa Muncie in the studio, a newer agent from Riverview. She is literally just a bright light in everyone's life. She is actually an agent on my team. Super sweet. Glad to have her. Brittany Box, just getting to know her. She is sponsored by a girl, Adriana Caruso, who I do know very well. And Brittany also is just crushing it. She's a newer agent out of Valrico. Again, great spirit, candid personality. We love that. And Tascon Services, we have Jorge in the studio, 20 years in the painting industry, a great resource for all agents out there, other business owners. And he also flips real estate. So we're going to get in with him a little deeper in this segment on how he has kind of combined his venture in painting into then kind of tapping into the real estate industry. Today, we're talking all things teams and leadership, guys. So we're talking about what is a leader, being a leader, even if you are a solo entrepreneur, how you are still a leader in getting things done in your business, whether that's real estate or marketing, or again, being in a more hands-on industry, painting, electrician work, HVAC work, all those things. How are you a leader in what you do, and why it's important to provide resources to your clients? So Brittany, I'm coming to you. As we all know in real estate, we have all these moving parts, right? We have title, we have insurance, we have inspection, we have appraisal, etc. And as an agent, it's your job to keep everything together. Why is it important to line up all those resources, vet them all out? And what is your advice to everyone out there of how you keep the glue of a transaction together? Yeah, so if you are in the middle of a transaction, for instance, and you are trying to get from start to finish, why is it important to just have resources for your clients to do that? And I guess more or less what I'm looking for is just, for instance, when you have like a vetted title company and you have a vetted like insurance company, why do you think it's important to kind of have like testimonies like, hey, this worked for this client, so you should like entrust in me and this should work for you? Like, why do you feel like you're a trustworthy agent to provide the resources?
Because I have the confidence and the ability to vet those resources out. And it's really important to have testimonials because you want your client to be comfortable as well and pass past experience is like the best way to
Judge future behavior.
Yeah, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. I think that you're spot on. I think that also it's tough, right? Like being a newer agent in the industry and really like getting things like foundationally set in stone for your business. I know that that's tough. So give anyone advice out there of what they should do if they are someone wanting to get into real estate or a new agent in this industry, of how you kind of took the plunge and then have been starting to like kind of set the foundation for your business.
Well, when I started, I didn't have really any experience in real estate at all. I was actually a CNA, cared for the elderly, and I just wanted something that was like gonna better suit me as a career. And my boyfriend's mother, she actually is a retired agent, and her daughter owns a big real estate company. And my boyfriend was like, "Hey, why don't you try that? You're good with people." I just jumped in, and it actually started working out, and like I really love it now. I'm really good at talking to people, and I like to make them happy. So I like to see the smile on their faces when they find that home that they really love, and that's really the reason why I got into real estate. And if anybody else is thinking about it, even if you're not super confident that you're going to pass the courses or anything, I would say just try it, because it's not that huge of an investment, and it's something that could change your life.
I love that. And so, Melissa, why do you think, like, especially as a newer agent, that it's important to like create a team and like vet out resources and set the stage so you can service your clients in the most productive way?
You absolutely have to have that backup. If you don't have that backup of knowing people and knowing people that know how to do things, you really kind of don't have anything. You got to have that teamwork. You got to have that special relationship with people where you can call somebody and be like, "Hey, do you know this person?" Or, "Hey, do you know somebody I can do for this?"
Yeah, for sure. 100%. I think that when you're in this industry, for anyone out there thinking about building a real estate team or setting the foundation, of course, for yourself as a single agent, it's so important that you have vetted resources in place. When I train agents, I train them to focus on the real estate piece, not the title piece, not the lending piece, not the insurance piece, because we have experts in all of those areas. So don't be a jack of all trades and a master at none. Like, master the real estate piece so you can service your clients appropriately, and then vet out all of those vendors. So those vendors that are experts in those areas. And I love what Brittany said as well. Testimonials are so important. Like, when people say, "What was the experience like working with Betsy or Melissa or Brittany?" We want the experience to be great. We want the experience to be awesome. We want people to walk away feeling accomplished, whether that's an agent that we're talking to or someone within our brokerage and they're a part of our culture and they're one of our teammates, or a client that's purchasing a home or selling their home or buying an investment. We want the experience to be great. My slogan is actually, "The experience is our job," because I don't think that transactional thought process is what works. I think it's all about the experience. So I know, Jorge, with painting, that's a little bit different experience, right? And so you kind of do drive the bus, but you obviously have to like purchase products. You have to have, again, reviews and testimonials. You have to provide good service so other people want to do business with you. So why are the resources in your industry important?
Okay, I think that the better resource that you have, the better is your job, and the easier is your job. The human is very important in my business. If you have a very good team or crew, with mixing with technology and discipline, so all that, it will be a very good resource to make your job easier.
I love that technology. And I love what he said. He said, not only does it provide good service for your customers, but it makes it easier. So like if you're a business owner out there, or potentially running a real estate team, or you're a single agent, when you have that foundation and structure for your business, all your SOPs, all your protocols, all those different things in place, and then you add the technology piece, like Jorge just said, it makes your life easier, which in turn allows you to focus on the experience. So what do you try to do in your industry where you guys are providing a service, right? Like you're painting a home, or you're painting inside, or you're painting outside, or you're painting new construction, or whatever you're doing. What do you do, and how do you create a good experience for your customer?
Okay, I try to sometimes to put on me and my guys in the same shoes that the customer. So I tell, okay, think about this. This job is for you. How do you like it? How do you want it? You want it that take the time, make the details nice, and if you are happy, the customer will be happy too.
He is like spot on. Like that was $1 million answer, is put yourselves in the shoes of the customer. I love that because when I train agents, I always say to them, you need to have an out of body experience. It's not about the countertop you like. It's not about the investment numbers that you would run. It's about the consumer. It's about the client. So the client has needs and wants. And when you think about them and the things that they have portrayed to you and you obtain that information, then you create a product or a service that fits their needs, not your own. I love that, Jorge.
Thank you.
That was a great answer.
Thank you very much. It's just that I apply in my business.
I
Try
love
to put
that.
on in the shoes. If you do that, the best advertising to me is a happy customer. Is I in 20 years never do an advertising. I don't need it. A happy customer is guarantee you that sooner or later you have a good reference for another customer.
And I think too, like now when you get into the marketing and the media and all of that, it's like when you have people that are saying vocally and on video, hey, I used TaskOn services for my painting job. It was so amazing. It was so great. That goes 1,000 times more so over than seeing just a picture on Facebook of a house that looks nice.
Correct. And it's more personal.
100%. If someone wants to contact you, give me the phone number that they could contact you at.
727-459-0075.
And if you're looking for a phenomenal agent in Valrico, Florida, Miss Brittany, could you give out your phone number?
Yes, it's 479-453-9150.
And Melissa Muncy, give out your phone number.
727-777-2228.
When we come back after the break, we're going to talk about impacts of being a team, being a leader in your business, and how it can impact your business positively or negatively, and how it impacts the real estate market today. We'll catch you after the break.
Biggest win, I think, with the dual path and having these two models is that now we become a brokerage for everyone. No matter where you are in your real estate career, what your goals are today. Maybe today you're not interested in recruiting or having a team, but then one day you wake up and you are. Well, if you're at the wrong brokerage to do that, you're locked in. Where in our model, we're not holding anyone hostage. We're not tying anyone in. You can move between the different comp plans and have that success and really achieve whatever your definition of success is under one brokerage platform, being LPT.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin, and I am here in the studio today representing LPT Realty and the Sunshine State Investments team. Happy to be with you. Of course, we bring you the raw and real of life, business, and of course, real estate. So excited to have two amazing agents, Melissa and Brittany, both newer agents in the Riverview, Valrico area with LPT Realty. So awesome to have them here and get their perception on what it's like to really hustle and grind and take full plunge into the real estate industry. Again, we have a senior business owner, 20 years in the industry of the painting business and also flipping homes. He works with tons of realtors, tons of real estate teams. We have Jorge TaskOn with TaskOn Services. And today, friends, we have dove deep with you into teams and leadership and what that means to the three entrepreneurs, two agents, and one business owner sitting here at the studio today. But then also we just want your thoughts. We want you to think about a leader in your life, a mentor in your life, the impacts on leadership that maybe you have on your personal business or someone that you know, and kind of give you some tips, tricks, and of course, gems in how you can apply this to your business today. So I really want to ask you guys, when you think of a leader, when you think of a mentor, when you think of a really great team that you've been a part of, who that is and why. Share with the listeners, and maybe that's going to spark something for them that they can apply to their own life. So we'll come to you first, Miss Brittany. When you think of leader, is there anyone in particular that comes to mind for you?
Well, I actually have a lot of leaders in my life. Like my boyfriend's mother, she's a really good, strong woman leader, and she put all of her kids through college on real estate. And she's got 5, so that's a lot of kids from real estate.
I love that.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure when exactly she got into it, but I know she was kind of younger, and
She became a realtor?
yeah, she became a realtor, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but I just know that she was able to get all 5 kids in college, and they were able to do their full course
Because she sold real estate.
because she sold real estate. But
That's amazing.
actually her husband was the one that started off as a broker, and then she became one after him, and then her daughter actually followed in her footsteps, and she became a realtor, and she owns a very profitable business in Valrico right now.
I really love that. And I think it's awesome that you recognize her as not only like a female entrepreneur mentor in your life, but working a commission-based job and producing enough income to put 5 kids through college.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. She started out in New Hampshire, and then they moved to Florida, and she continued her business here. She worked for several different
Brokerages?
different brokerages.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that that's awesome that she can mentor you and just kind of you can look at what she's done. I absolutely love that. And Melissa, what do you think about when you think about a mentor in your life, a leader in your life? Like, who do you kind of like respond well to? Or maybe it was years ago, even when you were in grade school, someone that had just made an impact in your world as a leader or a mentor.
My grandma was my biggest impact. She nursing field for so many years, and I did the nursing field for 24 plus years, and then I did real estate, and then I met Betsy Tinervin and Jen Spinelli, and they have been my biggest impact on me since I've joined real estate. Betsy's an amazing leader, and I've learned so much from her and Jen, and it's just amazing how much I've learned.
Well, we love you to pieces.
Love you too.
Go back to your grandma for a second. So with her being like a leader and a mentor, why her? Like what stands out with her?
She did the nursing field for so many years, and actually even after she retired, she went back and she was filling in for people, and she worked more as a part-time nurse than she did as a full-time nurse. So for her it was, I watched her take care of my whole family, watched her take care of my grandfather, and always had food on the table, and always just, she's an amazing woman. At 5'2", she's just
She
a
was
spitball of fire.
little but mighty.
Yeah, for sure.
I love
She did the
that.
farm. She did the nursing. She did, just worked 11 to 7 or 3 to 11. She worked the second shift, 3 to 11. Just a spitball of fire.
I love that. And now you are on a team and you're on Jen and I's team. And of course, we keep the show raw and real. So don't say anything biased that you wouldn't say in real life. But why is it important to you to be on a real estate team? How do we kind of help you with your career? And why is it important for you to be on a team?
I started as a solo agent, and I was really struggling with learning how to handle it and learning because I didn't know anything about real estate. As I joined the team and I started learning more, and I've been able to help other people, and I've been able to help run we're getting ready to do the first time home buyers class, and I've learned a lot just myself that way, just learning from you guys, and plus helps with the leads and if you have issues with covering of open house or anything like that, you have backup. You have that.
Yeah, you feel
Whereas-
definitely supported.
Yeah, for sure. And loved. We're like a big family on our team.
We are definitely
It's
like
a huge family.
it
we
is.
can all joke and have fun, and
Yeah, I love that. I do love that. We're so happy to have you. And I'm going to turn to you, Mr. Jorge. 20 years in the painting industry. 20 years.
20.
Did you start with a paintbrush in your own hand?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Actually, I have to learn by myself a lot of things because nobody teach me. I come in, to start from zero. I'm studying business administration. I don't nobody that I know have a painting before, and I have to start from zero to create my own business.
And where are you originally from?
I'm from Colombia.
Okay. And how long have you been here?
How long?
Yeah.
I come in 2000.
Okay. So not only did you have to learn a whole new life, environment, culture, but then you learned a whole new business.
Correct.
So you started ground zero.
Ground zero. Correct. Have to figure it out. Only one thing. If somebody else can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
I don't know how to install a mirror or nothing. Painting, rolling, spraying, and I have to do it myself. And asking, looking around. YouTube is a good.
Yeah, can you guys imagine life without YouTube? Like it's crazy because you can learn anything. But give everyone out there advice, right? If they are looking to really excel in their business and they know nothing about an industry or they don't know anything about real estate. Maybe they want to flip real estate, purchase real estate. Maybe they want to start an industry in electrical work or painting or drywall or any of that. And they know nothing about it. What do you say that they do first? What's the first thing that they need to do?
I think that you have to want it, and you need to believe in yourself. I don't know why all the kids now wanna be employed in something. Nobody is trying to do it by their own, and it's something that I've tried to explain or try to tell even of my guys. Tell you can do it. This is the country that you can do it by your own. You can build your own business, your own job, your own the only limit is yourself. I try to motivate some people that do the same. Not only go and work for a job, try to find work for somebody else.
I think that we all have to remember that sometimes it's you versus you, and when it's you versus you have to really dig deep and go, okay, if it's me versus me, then if I put in the time, if I put in the effort, if I really find what my drive is, what my motivating factors are, then I'm going to do it. If I want to get healthy, why do I want to be healthy? Is it because I want to look better? Is it because I want to feel better? Is it because I want to create a legacy for my kids and live longer? Or what's my motivation? Do I want to become a successful entrepreneur? Do I want to dive into the real estate industry? But what is my motivation? It's same thing with our buyers and sellers and investors. If you find out where someone's motivation lies, it's so easy to then continue along with whatever their need or want is, or whatever's happening in a transaction, because whatever that motivating factor, that deciding factor. And I think in answer to your question, Jorge, why a lot of people don't take the plunge into entrepreneurship is the lack of motivation, the lack of drive, the lack of want. Our industries are tough, and anyone out there in the business world, if we can give you a slice of motivation today just to keep going, we know that we're kind of in the midst of a recession. We know that, gas prices are up and a gallon of milk costs more. However, we still firmly believe that real estate is an amazing asset. It's a very protected asset. We're in the #1 metro market in the country. So if you are interested in buying or selling or investing, Miss Melissa, could you throw out your phone number, please?
727-777-2228.
And same thing with Miss Brittany. If you're interested in LPT Realty or looking to become a real estate agent or want to connect with an agent in Valrico, Brittany, can you throw out your number?
479-453-9150.
And Jorge, what are those digits?
727-459-0075.
You're not going to want to miss the finale of our show today on Team and Leadership. We will catch you after the break. Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin, with LPT Realty and the Sunshine State Investments team. Happy to be in the studio today. As always, if you have missed any segments of our show, please check out the LPT All-Star Facebook group, where you can then see all the full versions and YouTube links and podcast links to all of our past shows. We are happy to be here in the studio with you today, talking all things team and leadership, talking about what that means in real estate, what happens if you're a solo agent, and guiding people through that transaction and really providing the best resources for clients. What happens if you're a new agent and you're thinking about joining a team, why that's important to have the backing and vetted resources on that team. Also, we have Task on Service is here. Jorge, who has just been giving amazing tips and tricks and gems to all business owners out there. He has run a painting company for the last 20 years in his industry. He partners with a lot of realtors and agents, and he prides himself on also being an investor in flipping real estate. So he understands what customers want and what they need. So Melissa and Brittany with LPT have been phenomenal. Jorge has given a bunch of tips and tricks, and we're going to wrap up the series here today talking about the importance of marketing yourself as a confident leader. Whether you're a business owner, you're a solo entrepreneur or solo agent, why is it important to market yourself as someone, as a person of confidence, and just show security in your industry that you are a true expert in your field? So, Melissa, why is that important as a real estate agent to market yourself with confidence and then obviously basically provide a phenomenal experience for your customer?
If you're not marketing yourself, no one's going to know about you. And you got to show that you're confident, because if you're not, then, well, who's going to want to work with you if you're not confident in what you do?
I also think, too, it's like, where is the first place that someone goes to look at a home?
Zillow.
They go to Zillow. And as much as we want to fight that and beat that and just negate the whole process, they do. They go to the internet, they go to Google, they go to Zillow. So it's like I tell agents all the time, you know, and this is applicable to any business owner out there. If someone goes to Google and they see not good reviews about you, they don't find any information, they can't see any of those things, they're going to be on to the next person, and there is no second chance. So I'm going to come to you, Brittany, for $1 million question. Why do you have one shot? You have one shot when someone looks at your Facebook and it's basically like your resume, or they Google you. Why do you have one shot, and why is it important to make sure that you're prepared for the one shot when a client or a potential customer looks you up and sees who you are as a real estate agent?
You have that one shot because that's how you're perceived in general, like by everybody. You want to portray a confidence because that's what's going to draw them into you. No one's going to want to go with somebody that looks like they're bothered or that they're just like depressed. They want somebody that's going to help them make confident decisions. So they need somebody that's confident in their decisions. That's why they need somebody that's going to like put their best foot forward at all times.
I love that. And what I also love is, like, I talk to agents all the time. And so anyone out there that's in sales, you know, you need to think, just like Jorge said earlier in the show, what it's like for the person on the other end of the line. So if you answer your phone and you say, hello, it doesn't sound exciting. You also should always say your name. Hi, this is Betsy. Like, people want to speak to other people that have great energy, that have a great vibe. Like, that is critical in any industry that you're working. Even if you are going through the drive-through window at Dunkin' Donuts, what is the difference that it makes when that person says, how you doing today? You having a good day? Oh, here's your coffee. Is that okay? Let me give you an extra napkin. Oh, there's a drip here. Like, it's the little things in life that I think are priceless. There's no monetary value to someone saying thank you or hi or hello or giving you an up top high five or a fist pump. Like, those are the things that cost no money, but they change someone else's life. And they make people want to be around you and to work with you. So I know, Jorge, that you can speak multiple languages, correct?
Yes, Espanol,
Spanish, and English.
Yes.
And so when you are in a situation and maybe you're more confident, you know, speaking Spanish than English, how do you come across confident as a business owner, and why does that impact customers that want to work with you?
Well, I have, you know, every day is more Latin people that I have like customers. It's crazy how the population of the Hispanic are growing up. And that is an extra tool to work with. To
be able to speak Spanish.
Correct. Yes.
I love that. I really want to learn, but I think that I would never get past the Spanglish. I think I'd be good at the Spanglish, right? Like a little bit of a twang in everything I do, but I also really have to take the time to master it. But you know what someone said to me, and you tell me if this is wrong? They said to me that if I want to learn Spanish, that I turn on the captions on my TV in Spanish and just listen to it like all the time.
That is true. That helps a lot. That worked for me for, learn English.
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
So what if I just want to hang out with you for a week and follow you around like every day and just listen to you speak Spanish?
That helps a lot.
You would let me do that?
Sure, of course.
I think by the end of the week, you would say training session is over with and I've had enough of you. But yeah, I agree. I think, again, that really feeds into something about like setting the bar, right? When you're bilingual in your industry, in the real estate industry, you have a service and you have another relatable factor to relate to an entirely different customer base. So I think what's really cool, Melissa and Brittany, too, is a lot of people are like, well, you know, why would I work with a new agent? And I tell them all the time, hey, new agents have a perception on this industry that is actually totally different than a seasoned agent. So like Brittany, you, and we'll go to you too, Melissa, like why is it important that a first-time home buyer may work with like a newer agent because they're like new to the experience and you can relate to them? Explain that.
Well, yeah, I love like taking, like I'm not burned out, like I haven't been
Yes.
in the field a long time. So like I just love looking for houses for them and like sending them things that they might love. It makes me really excited. And when I take them to places that I know is their style and they have a positive reaction, I'm like, yes, I did it. And it's just something that just gives you a lot of joy when you're a new agent. Like it's not become monotonous yet.
I love that.
I mean, not that it will become monotonous, but I just feel like when you're fresh, you have fresh eyes on everything. And you can things make you happy easily, and like that happiness transfers to your client.
I could not agree more. And Miss Melissa, you're going to be doing a first-time homebuyer class. So kind of explain like why you want to get these first-time homebuyers in a room and kind of what you're going to talk to them about.
Well, the thing is that a lot of people think that first-time home buyers is your very first home. It's not necessarily your very first home. And there's a lot of facts and non-facts that people think, and I'm trying to get the word out there that the non-facts are probably not true, and you really need to learn the true facts. So for the first-time home buyers, and especially, you know, maybe even the Spanish community that comes in as a first-time home buyer, there's a lot of stuff that they need to learn. And being a new agent, I can bring in that new stuff, whereas some of the seasoned agents don't really pay attention to the newer stuff.
And I also think, too, the purpose of the class is to bring people in. And from what I've heard, you're going to have a lender there. You're going to have special grant programs that are offered. A title company, and you're going to walk them through the process from front to back. So even the people out there thinking like, I can't buy a home right now, my credit's not right, I don't have the money down, you should at least like check the class out, because if you check the class out, then you can, whether it's now, I always tell people with pre-approvals and financing, it's not if you're going to get pre-approved, it's just when. So we can put you on the right path and get you set up and ready to buy. And so I think that that's going to be part of the class. If someone wants information about that class, Melissa, could you give your phone number?
727-777-2228.
And you can always check out the Sunshine State Investments Facebook page where we post all of our events on there. So you can check out all the events on the Facebook page. That class will be posted. And so I've truly loved having all three of these amazing people in the studio today. Tascon Services, Jorge, do you have any final thoughts for the listeners out there?
That in this market, I think that you can buy a house if you want. Okay, you be prepared, and I think that if you have a little bit of like a down payment, you need to do some steps, but anybody can do it. You know.
Do you want to come work for my real estate team? Because you're pretty good at like this whole advertising thing.
Yes, depends.
I love that. And give everyone your phone number really quick, so if they look into contact you.
727-459-0075.
And Miss Brittany, if you could give everyone your phone number, if someone is looking to connect with an LPT agent in Valrico, Florida, new buyers, sellers, and investor, could you give everyone your phone number?
Yes, it's 479-453-9150.
And we are going to have to conclude the show today. Unfortunately, we are out of time. We have appreciated everyone being here with us today. We love bringing you the raw real of life, business, and of course, real estate. Please contact Melissa or Brittany for all of your real estate needs and Tascon Services for all of your painting needs. Again, we're out of time, and we will catch you next weekend.
Thanks for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined. We hope this episode motivated and inspired you. And don't forget to rate and review us. Thanks again for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast with Betsy Tinervin.